Hi everyone, welcome to Way2 Programming. In today's Python programming tutorial, we are going to talk about decorators, and I'll give you an example to show you how they can be used as callbacks. And if you are someone who does not know, who has no idea, who doesn't know what decorators are, I'll try to explain that as well. Decorators are very important, uh, you know, concept in Python programming. And if you can use them as callbacks, your code will become more flexible and more modular, right? So let's first talk about what decorators are. And for that, I'll create a new code file for you. And in simple terms, if I have to define decorators, they are like, uh, decorators are like, um they are used to enhance the behavior of functions, or to change the behavior of functions or methods in Python without changing the actual source code. So they actually work by wrapping a function with another function. Okay. And they are mostly used for tasks like authentication, logging, and all that. So now let me give you an example so that you can understand how we work with decorators. So first, let me define a simple decorator. And for your understanding, I'm gonna name it my decorator. And like I told you, they work like, function inside function. So this is the outer function working as a, this is the decorator. And then inside this decorator, I'm using a wrapper function, another function, right? And then maybe, I can print something inside this function. Let's say, okay, so just for your understanding, because this is the inside function, right? So if decorator is called, right, this function will be executed after the decorator is being called, right? So, um, or maybe, yes, okay, let me show you something. So, before it is called something, before this one, let me write it like this, before this one, something else, right? Just for your understanding. And then we're also gonna call func, right? And then maybe we are going to call after after this one, something happens, or maybe, something like that. Um, okay. And then I'm gonna return wrapper. Mm, and one more thing. So if since whichever function is whatever function is decorator, you have to use at the rate symbol, right? So you have to apply the decorator if you want to apply the decorator, because decorators are applied on other elements of the program. So you have to use at the rate symbol to apply the decorator, right? So I'm gonna write at the rate, and what is the decorator that I want to apply? My decorator. Okay. And then I'm gonna create, let's say, another function, say hello. And inside this function, and I'm giving them names based on their functionality so that it will be very easy for you to understand. So because the function name is say hello, so obviously it's going to print hello, right? And then I can, so this, because I'm applying, I've written at the rate my decorator before this function. uh, this function say hello is big will be the decorated function. Why? Because I have applied decorator on it. Okay. And we can call this decorated function just like a normal function. Okay. So let me give you an overview what happens here. First, we create a decorator, right? And name of the decorator is my underscore decorator, right? And it takes as an argument a function named func or func, right? So it is taking uh, this function as an argument, right? Now inside this decorator, we're defining wrapper. This is another function, and this function adds functionality before and after calling the original function, right? Because originally we're dealing with func. Uh, just to help you understand, I'm just trying to add some functionality before and after func is called or func is, executed, right? And then we apply the decorator to this another function, say hello, using at the rate symbol, right? And when we call this function, right? So this is how we call a function. I hope you remember. So, so when we call this function, it is actually calling the wrapper function, which adds uh, the before and after functionality. Okay, let me run it and hopefully you'll be able to understand. Decorator function. Okay, right. So if you look at these outputs and this code, uh, when we call say hello, wrapper function gets called, right? And first, this statement will be printed before this one, something else, right? And then the func gets called, right? And again, because decorator is taking func as an argument, when we apply this decorator on another function, this function becomes this function, right? So when we are finally calling, uh, say hello, right? So I'm calling the decorated function, but ultimately what gets called this func is because I'm not using this name here, right? Say hello, I'm not using this name, okay? But what I'm trying to show you here is if I call, so this is the definition of a function, right? This is also the definition of a function. This is definition of a function. If you do not call the function, its definition will not be executed. I hope you know that, right? Definition cannot do anything. When you call the function, and how do we call it? With its name, right? So when you call the function, only then the definition will be executed. Only then you can see the result. But if you look at this code, am I calling wrapper? I'm not. Am I calling my decorator? I'm not. But if you look at the output, wrapper function has been called too, because that's why this print statement is inside wrapper function. This print statement is also inside wrapper function, right? So they get called too. But actually, I'm calling only say hello, say underscore hello, right? Because I'm calling only this function, only hello should be printed. But no, because this function has also been decorated using this decorator, this whole thing gets called. Okay, so that's the main function of decorator, right? I hope it is clear now. Now let's explore how decorators can be used as callbacks. And again, I repeat this definition in every single lecture, every other lecture, I would say, every other video lecture, whenever we're talking about callbacks. Callback is a function passed as an argument to another function and executed at some point within that function, right? So that's what callback is. Now let's see how decorators can be used as callbacks. Okay, so let me try to define a decorator that takes a callback function as an argument and how we can work with that. So I will okay. I think I'll have to change this. I'll have a different name. Let's say the name of the decorator now because I want to show you how it actually works. So let's say name of the decorator function is before and after callback, right? And argument, I'm gonna take the name, same name. You can change the name instead of func. You can use any other variable, but I'm going to use this only. And then I'm going to again have a wrapper. And inside this wrapper, I'm going to use some arguments. And mm, okay, I think that would do. And then I'm going to print a few statements so that you can better understand. So before calling the function, before actually calling the function, this statement gets printed. And then we are checking the result because we are trying to use it as callback, right? So it will be args and qw args and yes. Okay. And then after the statement gets executed, I want to print this statement too. All right. And then we can just return the result. And let me come out of the repo. And okay, so now we can apply the decorator to a function. Okay. So what is the name of the decorator? It's before and after callback, right? And let's say we create some other function. Mm, so here I'm going to write inside the function because this is the main function, right? So here I'm inside the function. Before calling this function, this statement gets printed. After calling this function, this statement gets printed, right? And now I'm going to call the decorated function, right? So maybe some function. That's the name of this function. Okay, I'm going to save it now. And again, let me explain one more time. Before and after callback, underscore, before underscore and underscore after underscore callback. This is a decorator that we've created. It accepts a callback function named func because I told you what is the definition of callback, calling a function inside the function. So uh, this is what we are doing, right? So we are taking this as an argument, and then the wrapper function adds functionality before and after executing the callback function, right? Just like we did earlier. And then we apply the decorator to some random function. You can create any function using, at the rate symbol. And when we call some function, it will invoke uh, this wrapper function again, just like we did the last time. And then it will call the original function and it adds the before and after behavior also, right? So this before and after statement will also be you know executed. And if we run this code now, let me run it so you can see the result. So before calling the function, inside the function, and after calling the function, right? And many of you, maybe you will get confused with these arguments. Don't get confused. um, I have already explained the use of these arguments. If you want, you can check previous videos. If you don't know, you can always ask in the comment section and I'll explain one more time why we are using args and these arguments here. But the point is, what I'm trying to help you understand here is that you can use decorators as callbacks. And this is actually a very simple example. You can use it the way you want to use it based on, your requirements. And I can actually try giving you a real life example as well. Let's look at a real world example where, maybe let's create a decorator that will, measure the time it takes for a function to execute. And it can be, a valuable callback for performance profiling. So again, for that, we have to import time, right? And then again, uh, I'm going to name it time IT. This would be the decorator. And then inside this decorator, I'm going to create a wrapper. And I'm not really sure if I'm going to want to need any argument. So For now, I'm just gonna go like this, right? And then maybe we can take start time as time dot time, and the result will be, again, if you remember, let me just copy paste it. That would be easier. And then we have end time, and that would be, I'm gonna call another time function. Um, and here I can just use some, um, okay, if I have this, I need to go like this. Mm, I will explain this whole thing, and so this one, and then I will subtract the starting time, because okay, and then it can be in decimal, right? So for that I'll use uh, 0.2f, and then I want these many seconds to run. Okay, all right, so I had it here. Yeah, put it there. Okay, all right. And after this statement, once we calculate it all, I can just return the result. I can return wrapper, and then we can apply this decorator, timing decorator, it, and then this is some function, maybe slow function. There's just a name, you can change it, and then time dot sleep. Okay, maybe the unit will be 2, and then we can just call it. Okay, all right. So in this example, we are creating a decorator time underscore it that measures the execution time of a function, right? And the wrapper function records the start time and the end times, right? So it calculates the duration of that function when it runs, right? That's why I have written this statement sandwiched between these two, right? So because we want to calculate the start and end time, and wrapper function is doing that. Okay, and then it will also print it, right? And then because we already have the decorator, and we can also easily apply this decorator to another function, so I'm using another function as slow underscore function, and I'm going to apply this decorator to this function. And when we call this function, slow function, the decorator measures the time it takes to execute, and it will print the duration. Okay, so if I run it, it's gonna do it. It takes 2.01 seconds to run. Okay, so just like this, whenever you're making a project, this is very simple project actually, right? But if you are making a very huge project, or you're working projects of this sort, you can use decorators, right? As callbacks, or in many other scenarios you can use them, because decorators are actually uh, they are actually they can be used for different roles, different things. It's a versatile tool, I would say, in Python programming, and it can actually enhance the functionality and modularity of your code, right? But again, you must have this understanding of how decorators can be used as callbacks, how to use them, where to use them. And once you understand that, it can open up a world of possibilities for you. So that's it for this video lecture. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. If you have any query, if you could not understand anything in this video lecture, feel free to ask again. I'm really happy to reply back. I'll be happy to create another video if you don't understand anything. Again, you can post your queries in the comments, your suggestions, your feedback, or you can send me an email as well. Okay. So I'll see you next time. Till then, take care.